know, this Sacramento team comes in here. The last game they played was Wednesday at Houston. This is going to be their third road game. It's now time for your McDonald's I'm 11 starting lineups. For Sacramento, as we mentioned, there's so many changes in their picture. They have a couple of new guys in particular, Bonzi Wells along with Mike Bibby. Rick Adelman is their coach. He is the guy who has done such a good job. He has directed the Kings to 7 straight playoff berths. All he does is win 50 games a year. And for the Suns, a lineup that's becoming very familiar to all of us who follow the Suns, as it's going to be Marion Jones, along with Kurt Thomas, Steve Nash, and Roger Bell. Mike D'Antoni, the NBA Coach of the Year, signed to a multi-year contract extension. Got just such great rapport with his players. It's time now for the Kia Keys to the Game. Kia Motors, the power to surprise. Dan, what have you got?
Thanks so much for asking. Keys to the game. Well, you know, we're going to start off with one that we've used all last year. It's push the tempo. The Suns averaging 109 points a game. The Kings only 78, so the Suns want to get out and run as soon as possible. No open look for Peja or Bibby. Both those guys struggling tremendously here. Don't want to get them started, then talk on defense. The Kings run a lot of pick and rolls up top for Bibby and also in the baseline for Peja. The Suns have to be on the same page, make sure they don't get wide open looks.
And so the 3 officials are Joe Crawford, Ken Bernhardt, and Mark Davis. This place is rocking. These two teams met in the preseason. The Suns winning both of those games, one in Fresno and one in Albuquerque. 11 of the next 13 games at home for the Suns, still seeking their first home win after that double overtime loss to Dallas in the opening game of the season. So, Dan, I said this earlier, I think the Suns have surprised people. Everybody thought when Amari went down, look out, this team could be in trouble.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, anytime you have Nash and Marion on the same team, you're going to be good. Nash is playing the same type of basketball he did last year. And then you put guys around him, guys like James Jones, Kurt Thomas, Raja Bell, and that bench that we got coming off this year, awesome. So they're electric.
Electric is a good word. The veteran Joe Crawford will get this game underway, as it'll be going up Brad Miller against Kurt Thomas. Miller was hurt a lot last year for Sacramento, and here comes to the NBA's leading assist guy. Now, wait a minute. We have a circle violation against the Suns, so out of bounds it'll go to Sacramento.
Kurt Thomas did the old veteran move, tried to steal the tip against Brad Miller, just got caught. King's ball.
So Bonzi Wells, who played last year with the Memphis Grizzlies, and Mike Fratello wanted him out of there, and he wanted out of there, and so he's in Sacramento. He's a guy who is getting maybe a last crack. He needs to keep his nose clean, as Mike D'Antoni would say. He's kind of a knucklehead.
He's played well, though. He's averaging 12 rebounds a game and 14 points. The 2 guys they brought in are actually the guys playing well for the Kings early, and the 2 guys that they expect to carry the team are the ones who are struggling.
Stojaković has really been struggling, shooting only 30% for the field. He misses that. Here comes Marion. Marion with 3 double-doubles in the first 3 games. Had a 30-point, a 20-point game on this 2-game road swing. Here is Nash, the quarterback, the best quarterback in the NBA. Brings it out to Kurt Thomas. Thomas not able to get it. And Dan, you've been talking about Kurt's shot has been a little bit flat.
Yeah, it's been real flat. That time the Kings wouldn't let Steve Nash come off the screen and roll. Let Kurt wide open. He's got to get a little bit more elevation on that shot.
Sharif Abdul-Rahim, who was one of the acquisitions in the offseason, and we're going to have a foul, as the foul will go against the Suns. Nice move that time in by Sacramento. Nash picking up the foul. And here is Abdul-Rahim, who has never played on a team that's made it to the playoffs. He's hoping that'll change for Sacramento. That's blocked beautifully inside. Bibby tried to challenge it and didn't get away with it.
You see Bibby there trying to be aggressive, getting himself off by going to the basketball hoop, but James Jones on the weak side denies the shot.
Here's Kurt Thomas again, and this one goes. So Kurt Thomas, who really needs to get that shot going, able to nail it. And the Suns up 2-0 here in the early going. Mike Bibby, who played at Shadow Mountain High School, the University of Arizona. Never been to an all-star game. Probably the best player never to be there. And there's Sharif Abdul-Rahim. That's what he does well, Dan.
Yeah, he's going to be a handful for Sean down there. I expect the Suns to go down there and double team Sharif to give Sean a little bit of help. This guy's just a born scorer.
He is a born scorer, and he loves to operate inside. He's a low-scoring presence. We're tied at 2. Backing in is Raja Bell. Out to James Jones. Long 3, and he's got it. So the 3 finds the mark. And that is now going to be another $150 from Holton Holmes, as they're proud to own the 3-point zone. And it comes now to Sharif Abdul-Rahim to Bonzi Wells. Bonzi Wells is so talented. I mean, he sometimes could just light you up by himself. He scores points in bunches.
Well, he's one of those guys, like a lot of guys in this league, who can do a lot of different things. He's got good range on the jump shot, plus with that body, he can take you down in the post.
Here's Bibby back the other way. 5-4 Suns with the early lead. Jones is 3, the difference of the game. Bonzi Wells from the corner again, this time not there. Sharif Abdul-Rahim may have gotten away with a push that time on Sean Marion. It'll be Sacramento ball.
And we saw James Jones shoot that 3 earlier, and talking to the coaching staff, they kind of talked about him like a little bit with Q as a fearless shooter. Doesn't care if he misses 6, 7 shots in a row, has so much confidence in shot that he's just going to go down and continue to shoot it.
What is that expression? No conscience?
If you're a good shooter, you can't have any conscience at all.
Then it comes down to Brad Miller. Miller backing down on Kurt Thomas. Thomas a good defender, has body contact, doesn't bother Brad Miller though. He's able to nail it.
No, good move there, Kurt. Good defense. Miller just with a better shot.
6-5 the Kings, and wait for the ball. We got a whistle. We're going to have a foul. It's going to be on Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
You see here, Miller just taking time backing down Kurt Thomas. Kurt, a good low post defender, strong. Gets up in the air a little bit, but Miller just bides his time and tough turnaround jumper.
Brad Miller had an injury-plagued year. He played only 56 games last year for Sacramento. His health is so key to their success. Roger Bell trying to hand off inside, deflected on the floor. Miller goes down, gets it. Out it comes now to Bibby. Bibby, so creative. A guy who will take the clutch shots, who's not afraid at crunch time to be a difference maker. Here's Stojaković on the move. Stojaković not shooting well in the early going. Gets his own rebound, though. Good hustle. Page a turnaround, and still not there. And this time, Thomas is stripped of the ball. Bonzi Wells gets it away.
This is the problem the Suns had last night against Utah. Gave up too many offensive rebounds, and you can't do that with Sacramento. You can't continue to give Page a good looks at the basket.
Here's Nash coming back the other way. Beautiful pass into the corner to Jones. Jones not able to hit it. Boy, that was a beautiful pass. Off it comes now to Bibby. Bibby back the other way. You know Bibby will get his shooting back. Shooting only 23% at the start of the night. Miller into Bibby. Bibby moving off the ball well, trying to find the open shot. Can't. Stojaković has got to get in. They're getting too many opportunities.
The Suns just doing a terrible job on boxing out there, expecting their athletic ability to get rebounds, and you can't do that in this league. You got to go find somebody, box out, and secure the rebound.
4 offensive rebounds here in the early going by Sacramento, and that foul is going to send Brad Miller to the line. It'll be Kurt Thomas picking it up. Brad Miller has always been a good free throw shooter. 81% last year. Tonight's game brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Well, Brad Miller and Kurt Thomas, both guys who are big men, but like to set the pick, step back, and shoot, good range jump shots. Both really good shooting big men.
Miller, the 7-footer out of Purdue. And now a 6-0 run by Sacramento, and they have an 8-5 lead. And a lot of it is just second opportunities. The offensive rebound has been the difference thus far. Marion goes in, a little floater, tough shot, but he got it to go.
And that's where he is at his best. He has not made a three-pointer this year, so his outside jumper's not there yet, but he continues to slash to the basket.
Coming into the game, shot 0 for 6 behind the line. Here's Bonzi Wells. Wells out to Miller. He loads it up, and that's where Miller likes to shoot. He loves to play at the high post.
And that's where penetration kills you. Bonzi Wells doing a good job of getting around Sean, drawing in the defense, finds a wide-open Brad Miller.
Outside Nash with a 3. He's got it. And found on the three-point zone. Fulton Holmes donates $150 to Phoenix Suns charities. Nash able to connect from outside.
You know, Nash hasn't found a shooting shot yet this season. It's been a little bit of cold, so it's good to see him come out and hit that shot. But that doesn't affect his game as he continues to come down and find the open men on the Suns team.
That's a very good point. I mean, he doesn't let that drag his game down at all. As Bonzi Wells able to answer at the other end. Out it comes to Thomas. Thomas, again, a little bit flat with a shot, but tracked down beautifully that time by Roger Bell, the real warrior. Roger Bell, you're going to love this guy. He does so many things well. He is a tough guy, and we're going to have a foul, and I don't think Mike Bibby liked that call at all.
And you're right about guys like Roger Bell, Kurt Thomas. You want them to make their shots, but if they don't, they bring so much to this team. And the main thing I think they bring, defensive presence and toughness.
Toughness, and he is the guy who does not want to lose. I mean, he'll fight you to the very bitter end. And there's Sean Marion able to connect. And it's all tied up at 12. Inside 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sacramento's only averaging 78 points a game in the first 2 outings. But tonight, they look like they'd be getting back to where they were the #2 scoring team in the NBA last year, only behind the Suns. Out it comes to Bibby, picked up by Nash. Bibby trying to drive inside, and he's going to be fouled en route. It's going to be on Nash, and that'll be his second. Nash can't believe they called it on him.
No, they can't. The only reason, the Sacramento Kings you said 78 points, which is last in the league. They're shooting 30%, 6%, which is last in the league, and 16% is. And this is the reason why Bibby's going to the hole. He knows the shot's not going. He's going to attack Nash anytime he can.
Beautifully up inside that time. Bibby to Stojaković, 14-12, the Kings. Nash, maybe he might come out after picking up that second foul, but he remains in the ball game. And it comes to Kurt Thomas. Nash so creative, setting up Thomas inside.
Well, there's the brilliance of Steve Nash. Never gave up his dribble. Made Brad Miller commit to him. Easy bounce pass to Kurt Thomas.
Third assist of the ball game now for Nash. Here's Abdul Rahim going inside, and there's going to be a foul. Ted Bernhardt making the call. It's going to be on Sean Marion.
Foul number 31, Sean Marion. His first 14th foul, non-shooting foul.
You see Raheem taking Sean again in the low post, just biding his time. James Jones tries to get down there just a little bit too late, and that guy can score. So, what's great about the Suns team, Gary, is they're number one in the league in assists, averaging almost 30 assists a game. So everybody's sharing the ball, and if you play basketball the right way, you're going to score.
They had 26 assists last night, and talking to Mike D'Antoni, there's a couple of reasons he feels, as Bibby now able to connect, and it's 16-14. He feels we don't have as many one-on-one guys backing down, plus a lot of guys like to come off the screens, the picks, and they set up somebody else for the assist. There's a rebound by Miller, quickly out to Bibby. Bibby's going to challenge Kurt Thomas, and not able to get the shot to go. Bill brings it down back the other way to Nash. Steve Nash pulls up, three ball, got it. And proud on the three-point zone. Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charities.
Great job by Kurt Thomas. Bibby went in trying to get contact on that layup. Kurt didn't allow it. Therefore, Bibby missed a shot. Steve got the three.
Miller now dumping it inside to Bonzi Wells, and Wells able to connect. That was a two a moment ago by Nash. His foot was actually on the line. So it's 18-16 now. Game's tied up, though, by Roger Bell, who comes back and knocks it up at 18. Bibby looking inside now, feeds it in to Rahim. Rahim is a good low post player, so smooth, so talented, and a guy who's hoping to get to the playoffs.
Tough position for Sean. There's no way he can stop Sharif down there. He's going to have to get some help.
And there's Nash, had that one partially blocked by Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Back it comes now to Bibby. Bibby really making Nash work hard on defense. He goes inside. Bibby this time gets a roll.
Well, when you're struggling shooting the ball, plus when Nash has two fouls, you expect Bibby to continue to be aggressive and take the ball to the basket.
Nash comes back with a two. The Kings tonight already have 10 points in the paint. 22-20. This kind of game you would expect between these two. You knew that Sacramento wasn't going to average 78 points a game. You could see both of them shooting very well in the early going. Bibby again. Look out. He's got it back now, Dan.
Well, you knew he wasn't going to go in a slump the whole year long. You're just hoping he was going to wait at least one more night, but it looks like he's starting to get the feel back.
James Jones, who came over from the Indiana Pacers, brings it out to Nash, back into James Jones. Jones, baseline shot. Nicely done. It's a two-point game.
Well, good recognition. Bibby switching on and the much bigger James Jones. Steve Nash has got him the ball. Jones turnaround jump shot.
Last night, the Suns shot the ball so poorly in the game early against Utah. Tonight, they're shooting much better, but Sacramento right now is matching them. There's a shot from outside. Sharif gets it inside. Miller to the hole, and he's fouled. That's already 5 team fouls against Phoenix. 3:33 left to go.
Nash is backing off, waiting, delivers to Kurt Thomas. Kurt, you're not missing New York.
Kings up by 2, 24-22. It's time for our Geico quote of the game. Geico Auto Insurance. 15 minutes can save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Quote is from Mike Bibby, talking about his poor play so far. The source, the Arizona Republic, he says it's frustrating because I'm not just missing, I'm missing badly. But we're seeing an improvement tonight as he has gotten off the mark very effectively.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than missing when you're missing the whole rim or not even close. But Bibby looks like he's corrected that problem. It's because he's being more aggressive. He's taking the ball in the basket, trying to get some easy buckets. And when you start off the game making a few layups, and that jumper all of a sudden becomes a little bit easier, get a little rhythm, and Bibby's starting to find it here.
Steve Nash as far as 7 points and 5 assists in this ball game. He's also picked a couple of fouls. Suns shooting 63%, the Kings 55%. Brad Miller at the free throw line, doesn't get it to go. Sacramento last year was 50-32. They're the only team besides the San Antonio Spurs to win at least 50 games in each of the last 5 seasons. I mean, they've been consistent, haven't they?
Yeah, and last year they started off 0-3, actually 1-4, and people are panicking now because they're 0-2. Like you said, they won 50 last year, and I'll be surprised if they don't win 50 again this year.
I agree, and they haven't played a home game yet. Their first game at home will be Tuesday against the Pistons. Here is Nash. Nash with the 3-ball. And fouled on the 3-point zone. Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Phoenix Suns charities.
How can Fulton Holmes still be in business after last year?
Well, the housing market's very, very prosperous, Dan.
Oh, I know.
That's the only explanation I can give you. Suns are 3 of 4 behind the line. Bibby kicks it around to Stojaković, into the corner to Miller, and Miller is going to answer with a 3 at the other end.
Good ball movement there as Page correctly turned down a shot and swung it one more pass to the big fellow over in the corner.
Jones trying to take Abdul-Rahim inside. Look at the movement for the Suns. Always moving off the ball. Always creating. They're fun to watch. That up-tempo, high-octane offense, and we have a timeout now by Sacramento. 2:43 to go. First quarter, 28-25. Both teams very efficient offensively. Kings up 28-25, 2:43 to go in the first quarter. This date in the NBA, sponsored by Paddock Pools, Patios, and Spas. Experience the magic of Christmas now at all Paddock stores for all your holiday needs. November 6, 1999. For the 5th time this decade, the NBA staged regular season games in Japan, when the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Sacramento Kings play 2 games at the Tokyo Dome on November 6th and 7th. In the NBA Japan game, Sacramento won the first game and Minnesota came back to take the second game. Some of the Kings people were saying, Dan, they still haven't recovered from that trip. That's the reason they're 0-2 at the start of the year.
Got to find some reason, I guess.
Suns have not been to the free throw line. We want to talk about that, Dan. One of the things that they really miss from Amari is his ability to get to the free throw line. And here comes Boris Diaw into the ball game, who was a star last night. They went over Utah, and a nice roll there by Sean Marion.
Good set play there as they knew Pedro was on Sean. Sean just took him, put his back to the basket, used his athletic ability, and jumped over it.
So Sean Marion now with 6 points in the ball game. Nash leading the way with 10. Miller picked up by Diaw. Boy, Boris Diaw, what an addition he has been since coming over in that sign and trade for JJ. Bonzi Wells from outside, not this time. And Bibby comes down with the rebound. Bibby just working so hard, doesn't get this one to go. And Diaw comes down with the rebound. Boris Diaw fast becoming such an integral part of this team. From the corner, Jones misses, gets his own rebound. A minute 54 left to go in this first quarter. 2
guys have been very effective coming off. Like Leandro Barbosa has played really good. I mean, just using his quickness, his strength. And Barbosa's a guy who wasn't much of a scorer in Atlanta, but has shown he can put the ball in the basket. And what I like about him is he takes the ball in the basket and he's able to find his teammates in the perimeter.
He really increased his confidence playing for Brazil in those American games where they won the gold medal. There's Sacramento stays after it. They get the basket 30-27 in favor of the Kings.
Well, the Achilles heel, as much as last night, is the offensive rebound again. Last year, the Suns didn't do a good job of picking up again here this year as they continue to let the Kings get second and third shots.
That's not the kind of shot that Mike D'Antoni wants from Barbosa. Here is Bibby inside Miller. Blocked beautifully from behind by James Jones. Miller was really surprised. He thought he was going to get the reverse layup, and it was not there. Jackson into Diaw, who loves to pass the ball, and he sets up Barbosa.
Well, he'll learn. I mean, that was actually a good pass and a bad pass. Great pass by Jimmy Jackson. Diaw should have went up and finished that. He was wide open. Instead, he threw it out to Barbosa, and nailed it. And here, James Jones doing a good job on the weak side and getting Brad Miller from behind. And here, Diaw should have dunked this wide open. Yep. Instead, threw it out to Barbosa. He's going to learn as he continues to play it. He's got to finish that.
One thing about Diaw, though, that Mike D'Antoni will tell you, he likes to pass first, and he's going to improve his shooting as time goes on. Kings have 8 offensive rebounds. Here's Diaw on the steal. He feeds man, and we've seen that before.
That's become a staple this year so far. Diaw with a great length in the steal, and then you knew it was coming. As soon as he passed half court, you saw Sean Marion streak and just threw the lob behind the back. Sean finished.
And the Suns have taken the lead 31-30. 34 seconds to go here in this first quarter of play. Abdul-Rahim trying to take Marion on the dribble. Fall away, not there. Good defense by Sean Marion. Marion back the other way. Suns are going to pull it out. There's about 2 seconds difference between the game and the shot clock.
Good defense by Sean, and also Diaw coming from the weak side, using that length to discourage Raheem from getting the ball up to the basket.
Very good beginning to this game. The Suns with 31 points, going for the last shot here of this first quarter of play. Diaw going to go in against Miller. He took him. He took him inside.
And that's where you're going to see him. Not too many guys his size can stay with him. Brad Miller backed off and still couldn't keep in front of him.
And a long shot by Bonzi Wells is close. The Suns finish with a 6-0 run. As an end result, they enjoy a 3-point first quarter lead, 33-30. What's this combination here?
Boris, I'm saying Nash18p13a.
Well, 33-30, a very interesting first quarter. The Kings out-rebound the Suns 15-9. They have 8 offensive rebounds. Hey, be sure to check out your special offers on Southwest.com for the latest and greatest in air, car, and hotel deals. We've got some more changes. Brian Grant coming in now for the Suns. We had earlier Jackson along with Diaw and Barbosa, and now Eddie House also. Let's go back and watch Diaw here.
Well, Brad Miller just backed off, almost daring Diaw to shoot, and Boris said, you know, you can't stop me. I don't care how far you back off, and took it right to the rack.
That first quarter, Nash with 10 points. Brad Miller with 10 points for Sacramento. Here's Boris Diaw at 6'8". Jim Jackson, and the 3 ball not there. Sharif Abdul-Rahim brings it down. They made a change too. Kenny Thomas and also this guy Jason Hart has come into the ball game. They feel, Sacramento does, that they have a deep bench, and they're going to use it this year. They did not have that in years previous. That's going to be a travel. Sharif Abdul-Rahim thought he was fouled, but instead they get him for shuffling the feet.
Well, he's not going to have the same kind of success with Brian Grant on him that he did with Sean Marion, unless he tries to take Brian outside. Brian's a bigger guy. If he gets down to that post, there's no way he's going to be able to muscle Brian out of there. Good collapse on the defensive Suns players, made him travel.
Brian Grant, of course, used to play for the Sacramento Kings. Here's Diaw backing in, brings it out now to Jackson. Eddie House from outside. He is instant offense. He comes in and nails a 3. 36-30. He had 14 points in the first 14 minutes of the season. And proud to own the three-point zone. Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charities. Into Bonzi Wells. Barbosa, tough matchup for him. Deflected. Here comes Eddie House, the former Sun Devil, to the hole.
Man, I love this guy, and obviously a fan favorite already. Every time he lets that thing go, you think it's going to go in, and he's in there for one reason, and that's the score. But the thing I like about him the best is he's a fiery competitor.
And the biggest lead of the game now for the Suns, up by 8, 38-30. And House is one of those guys who can come in and light you up. And Bonzi Wells able to hit the 2. Bonzi Wells now with a total of 8 points in the ball game. 38-32. And Joe Crawford indicating. And we have a foul on Brian Grant away from the ball. Let's go back to House.
Eddie doing a good job of getting the passing lane. He's got a nose for the ball. He wants to score, and a good way to do that is get your hands on it. So Eddie, another one of those guys that comes off the bench and brings some spark to this team. And I'd like to see the Suns with Brian Grant on Sharif to allow him to play him one-on-one down there, not double. And I think Brian got called for the offensive foul down here in the other end, trying to be physical.
Yep, that was his first foul. Change now. Kevin Martin comes in the lineup, the second-year man out of Western Carolina. They give Stojaković a breather. Here is Martin. Into the corner it comes now. As they swing it around also, Jason Hart remains in at the point guard. Bonzi Wells from outside, and Bonzi's hit 2 in a row from there.
Well, that was set up by Kenny Thomas, another guy in the Sacramento team who can really score. Tried to take his man off the dribble, drew in the defense. Bonzi got the jump shot.
Kenny Thomas may be one of the most underrated players in the league. Out it comes the House. Same spot, not the same result this time. And look at Brian Grant.
Shoot it again, Eddie. Please.
I tell you, Brian Grant is a block of granite inside. He is so tough. Diaw can't get the shot to go. Out it comes to Martin. I mean, Brian Grant is as strong as anybody you're going to see at 6'9", 255 pounds. Here's Kenny Thomas, who played in New Mexico. He has a block by Diaw. He got up and rejected. Thomas got it back. 8 seconds on the shot clock. From outside, Jason Hart, and he's got it. So that 8-point lead now has been whittled to 2. 38-36. Look at the speed of Barbosa. I never can get over how blazing fast he is.
Not only is he very fast, but he's so strong that he finishes well around the basket.
There's Hart now. Hart played last year with the Charlotte Bobcats. Bonzi Wells trying to hit from outside. The rebound is cleared by Barbosa. Barbosa is a different-looking basketball player. This is third year, and as he goes inside, we're going to have a blocking foul.
There you see just drawing the contact as he got in the lane, lowered his shoulder, drew the contact, threw the ball up, and can go to the free throw line.
Timeout. 8:55 to go in the first half. It's a high-scoring, up-tempo game, and right now the Suns are getting the better of it. Suns are shooting 60% for the game. They're up 40-36. Now you have 20 million reasons to play Powerball. Wednesday's jackpot, an estimated $20 million. Get your tickets today and check for the winning numbers at ArizonaLottery.com. It's time for the Powerball Power Play, and we're going to show you the play of the game right here.
For Boris Diaw with a nice play defensively and then runs down, and he's not a stupid guy. He knows you just got to throw that ball up somewhere towards the rim, and Sean Marion is going to finish strong. Boris Diaw doing a great job. And you look on the floor right now, we got 5 non-starters on the floor at the time. We saw that last year.
I know, and that's what's so exciting. There's 10 guys that Mike D'Antoni can go to. Barbosa able to hit the free throw. So the Suns trying to find some other ways to win while they await the return of Amari Stoudemire. One of those is a deep bench. They continue to pass the ball well. Keep this up-tempo, high-octane offense going. A very, very unselfish team as Barbosa gets both free throws.
You know, they worried about the chemistry. Everybody talked about the chemistry with all these new guys. Well, I can tell you the chemistry's great.
Into the offensive end comes Jason Hart, who played collegiately at Syracuse. Miller brings it out now to Martin. And wait for the ball. We've got a foul. It's going to be an offensive foul. It's going to be on Brad Miller. And so to go the other way, Raja Bell's going to come back into the lineup now for the Suns.
Foul's actually on the rookie, Francisco Garcia, who I saw him work out for the Suns this summer, and I really like the way this guy plays. He's a really good player. I think he's going to be one of the surprises this year. If he gets a lot of playing time here, he can shoot, he can put the ball on the floor, he's got good size, really knows how to play the game.
He played for Rick Pitino. You have to know how to play the game. And of course, Pitino's team made it to the Final Four last year. Here's House outside, shaking Miller, kicks it out to Diaw. Beautiful pass inside, and the reverse by Brian Grant would give Diaw tremendous assist on that.
Yeah, you don't teach that kind of play, Gary. He caught it, didn't even have to look, threw it into Brian Grant. Good catch by Brian and a good finish.
44-36. I'll tell you, Diaw has just been absolutely stunning in the early part of this season. Here's Hart from outside. 8 seconds on the shot clock. He'll go into the left hand. An errant shot. Out it comes now to House. House surveying the floor as he comes up, and he'll back it out. House handles it a lot better than I thought he did. I mean, I knew he's a shooter. Up it comes Grant to Barbosa. 3 ball. And there's Brian Grant fighting and doing some real yeoman work inside. It'll be off of Sacramento.
They're doing exactly what the Suns wanted from Brian Grant, just doing all the dirty work, getting his hands on the ball, makes the extra pass, and then getting himself underneath the board, trying to get those rebounds. Tips it once, tips it twice, gets the ball back for the Suns.
You know, I always hate to see this guy in another uniform, but when you have him now, you like him a lot, don't you?
I played with him in Miami. He's a great guy to have on your team.
There's Diaw now going in and off the glass. Rebound is cleared now by the guy you were talking about, you like, Garcia. Garcia, the first-round pick, 23rd pick of the first round, into Kenny Thomas. Barbosa now trying to front him. Thomas goes in, gets it out somehow to Garcia. Garcia not able to get the shot to go. Well, he did, but it hit the top. It will not count. It does not count because it was out of play when it came back through the net. 44-36, Suns, 7:27 to go. I'll tell you, this game, Dan, the shot clock not into play very much, is it?
No, it's a fun game to watch. The Suns picked up where they were last year. They just want to get as good a shots as they can, and that's on good defense by Martin.
Here's Martin, and Martin blocked by Diaw. And Diaw comes away with a foul, but you gotta love the effort, and the crowd loves it.
I sat out last night with D'Antoni after the game in Utah. We were talking about Diaw, and he said, you know, Atlanta said this was one of the softest guys they've ever seen. Well, tell you what, this is not soft. Whoa. That is not soft at all. This guy plays with a lot of heart, a lot of competition, doesn't shy away from any contact whatsoever.
Free throw by Martin. Steve Nash is going to come back into the ball game. Diaw, this first foul of the night.
Diaw going up, and we've seen this all game so far, using his length, backing off of guys, and it's going to become a very good shot blocker in this league.
Diaw, former first-round pick of Atlanta. a guy who was from France originally. His mother, by the way, was considered to be the best center in French women's history. So he comes from a family that has some pretty good basketball background. 44-38. Nash is back in. Nash has 10 points in the game, 5 assists as he comes back with a 7:04 showing on the clock. Here's Nash from outside. Rebound is cleared by Thomas. Thomas will bring it out now quickly to Hart. Hart and Martin get a lot of playing time in this game. They're trying to find some guys that can rest Bibby, especially while he battles that sore foot. Garcia into the corner to Martin. Martin has it deflected away. Nice reach around by Barbosa. Those long arms of Barbosa. It'll be Sacramento ball with 9 to shoot.
Good closeout on Leandro. Got out, and then Martin tried to make a move, and like you said, use those quick hands and those long arms to deflect the ball.
6:44 to go now in this first half. Off it comes to Hart. Hart did a nice job for the Bobcats last year. Not much of a score. He sets everybody else up. Here's the score. Garcia can't get it. Eventually, Barbosa's got it. Here he comes. The other way. You better get back defensively. Roger Bell gets a screen from Diaw. Brings it out to Nash. Look at the ball movement. Look at this team. They just are relentless. Here's Diaw going inside. I tell you what, Dan, this is a fun team to watch again.
Well, what I like about it, you got a lot of guys out there who can put the ball on the floor and create not only for themselves, but for the teammates. You see them catching it. Nobody's waiting. They're attacking the basket. They're getting to the lane, drawing defenders. Diaw going all the way, going strong, gets fouled.
And so Diaw at the free throw line. Diaw last year shot 74% from the free throw line. Stojaković comes back in now for Sacramento. Diaw's only 23 years old. This team loves him. I mean, he is going to be a big favorite here in the Valley of the Sun. 46-38. 6:15 left to go in the first half. Stojaković, who came into the ball game and was 1 of 4, continues to struggle from the field. Martin brings it out to Page, who's as good a shooter as there is in the league. And that's a tough shot to hit when you're not shooting well. Rebound by Grant.
Excellent defense by Raj, not giving Stojaković any kind of good looks at the basket at all.
Nash now trying to shake Hart. Beautiful pass inside to Grant. Grant with the good hands makes the catch. Diaw's going to wheel inside. Brings it out to Nash. I mean, they're just continually moving off the ball. Moving the ball around. Look at this. It's fun to watch. The ball deflected. It'll be off of the Suns Sacramento ball. And we have a break in the action.
And that's where Diaw is going to get better. Cutting the basket, finishing around the hoop. But Nash doing a great job of using that pick and roll. Finding Diaw, he just couldn't find it. Kings 38, Suns 46.
Well, the Suns have led by as many as 8 now, 46-38. Hey, coming up tonight at 9:30, it's the Arizona Sports Report. We sit down with Raja Bell, who's off to a great start. Get to know that 6-year pro. Plus, Jody Jackson will have all the Suns' reaction from the locker room. And the Cardinals are trying to make up ground on the Seahawks. Kevin McCabe has it all tonight at 9:30. So we come back with 5:39 left to go in this first half. The two teams have cooled off a lot here in the second quarter. Suns shooting 36%, the Kings 33%. Bibby has come back in now. So we have Bibby, Martin along with Stojaković, Kenny Thomas, and Kevin Martin. Suns now with Nash, Jones, Brian Grant, Raja Bell, and Steve Nash. And they ran Nash off of a screen that time, got the shot, and it's 46-40. Marion brings it up now to Raja Bell, and Bell able to bury it. This is the guy who really first came on the scene in 2001, playing for the Philadelphia Sixers. When Larry Brown was there, they fought into the finals. He became well known for his defense, but he brings more than defense.
Oh, he's definitely a good scorer, and on his team he's going to look to score more, even though he's only taken 2 shots here tonight. He's made them both, but you know, he takes that role with Joe Johnson where he's going to get a lot of good looks, and Raja surprised me with his ability to be able to put the ball on the floor and create his own shot.
Maybe one of the most underrated players in the league as well. I mean, there was a poll by the NBA general managers, and they thought that Raja Bell was the most underrated player acquisition. So he thus far has certainly lived up to all the expectations the Suns have. The Suns back up to their biggest lead of the game, 48-40. Nash going in. They have a switch. Bibby now catches up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Feeds Marion. Marion challenges Miller. Gets his own rebound, and that's vintage of Sean Marion.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, Sean knew he wasn't going to make that shot. He just threw it up against the backboard knowing nobody can jump as quick as I can. And he just went up and got it and then scored.
Biggest lead of the game now for the Suns, 50-40. Outside 4 minutes to go in this first half. Bibby trying to run Nash through another screen, gets open and hits it. And away from the ball, we have a foul. Mark Davis calling the foul. And they're going to discuss this one. Martin's going to come out of the ball game now. Sharif Abdul-Rahim comes in. The basket will count, a loose ball foul. Going to go
on Raja. Raja and Thomas were kind of going at it down there, and Raja's not going to back down from anybody, and kind of took exception to something that Kenny Thomas did. But maybe the only thing that Bibby needed to do was come back here to Phoenix, where he played his high school ball, and get hot.
He is now 5 of 10 tonight. Thomas hits the free throw, 50-43. I'll tell you, Roger Bell will not back down. Ask Kobe Bryant about that. Bell outside now, picked up by Bonzi Wells. Nash trying to shake Bibby. Deflected away. Bell saves it. 9 on the shot clock. James Jones and Stojaković. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Bell from outside, 3. A little bit short. Didn't get a good look that time. That's one of the few times they were having the shot clock be a factor. Bibby goes in, beats Thomas, and he's going to be fouled. Kenny Thomas is one of those guys who can have big nights. He's had it through the course of his career. And so the foul will go on Kurt Thomas. That'll be his second. And Thomas at the line. Thomas came into the league as a first-round draft pick of the Houston Rockets. He came over last year in that trade with Philadelphia for Chris Webber, and he gets a fortuitous bounce there.
Yeah, one of those guys who really wanted to come to this team and start, and Sharif has kind of won that starting job from him, so they're expecting him to come off the bench, and he's not real happy about it.
7th-year man. Undersized, but I tell you, he's really tough. They list him at 6'7", doesn't get the second one, and it looks like we have a lane violation. They're going to get another free throw. And so Thomas will go back to the line again. 76% free throw shooter last season. Sacramento, a team that will play Detroit at home Tuesday. They go to Denver, and then they get Denver at home. They've been sitting and waiting for the Suns. Have not played since Wednesday after losing to the Rockets in Houston. Nash outside. And as that deflected out, off it comes to Bibby. 2-on-1, Stojaković. Nicely done.
Well, that's one way to get on the board, as Bibby did a good job of reaching around, stealing the ball from Nash, leading the break. Feeds Peja for the easy layup.
Peja now with 4 points. Thomas double pumping, and Brad Miller got him. Nice job by Kurt Thomas inside. Abdul-Rahim will come back in, replacing Kenny Thomas for the Kings.
Well, as a big man, all you have to do is get open, and Steve Nash will get you the ball anyway, anyhow. Here, really behind the back, Kurt Thomas, good ball fake, draws the foul. Too bad he couldn't complete the play there. We go on the line.
Kurt Thomas, hard-nosed guy who will be a great addition to this team. He's struggling with his shooting right now, but this guy, through the years, has been one of those guys that's been an enforcer. I mean, he has a warrior's mentality, and he gets that stare at you. You don't want to get in front of him.
That's another guy I played with Miami, and you're exactly right. You knew one guy who had you back every night was Kurt Thomas.
There's Miller from outside. Rebound is cleared by Marion. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Marion brings it out to Bell. Bell takes Wells inside. Kurt Thomas brings it out. Kurt's still trying to figure out how this system works. I mean, you pass, you move. Here's Jones. Long 3. He got it. James Jones with a huge 3 from outside. And Jones is proud to own the three-point zone, and Fulton Homes donates another $150 to Suns Charities. 54-46. Here's Stojaković from outside. His 3. Boy, don't get this guy started.
Well, that time they went down. Steve Nash went on Sharif, who's got Sean Marion in the block. I don't care how bad Page is shooting. You can't leave him from behind the arc.
You can see 5 of 11 the Suns from three-point land as they're able to connect there. 56-49. Wells brings it in now to Sharif. Sharif picked up by Marion. Approaching 2 minutes to go here in this first half. Rebound by Kurt Thomas. Suns doing a better job now on the boards. Early, they were giving up a lot of offensive rebounds. Roger Bell gets a screen from Thomas, a floating shot, and he's going to get the foul. It's going to be on Bibby. Boy, this three by James Jones looked like a Dan Marley three. It was so far out.
Let's not get carried away, Gary. I mean, this is a nice shot, but come on.
Suns with 56 points, was just inside 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Here's what's on tap for the Phoenix Suns, brought to you by Bud Light. Smooth and refreshing. Bud Light, great taste for your great time. Sound effects provided by Dan Marley. The next Suns home game is Thursday night right here at America West Arenas. The Suns will host Richard Hamilton and the Detroit Pistons at 8:30. For tickets, call 800-4NBA-TICKS or log on to Suns.com. Rip Hamilton is averaging 27 points a game, Dan, shooting 60% for the field. I mean, he's off to a great start.
That's what that Bud Light will do for you, Gary.
Flip Saunders, the new coach, of course, coming over Detroit as Larry Brown leaving for the New York Knicks. Everybody having fun here at the ballpark. At the line is Roger Bell.
So the dancing dads, how about some dancing moms?
Well, I think that could be worked on. You have somebody to recommend?
There's a lot of good-looking moms in Phoenix.
I agree. As Bell misses the first free throw. The Suns thus far from the free throw line are now 6 of 8. 57-49. Bibby brings it in now to Brad Miller. Good defense by Kurt Thomas. 10 on the shot clock. Bibby from outside, the 2. Rebound, one-arm stab by Abdul Rahim, and he's going to be fouled by James Jones. That was a pretty impressive rebound that time by the former California Bear. That's the 10th offensive rebound tonight for the Kings.
Well, that's what happened. The Suns went down to double team on the post, and when you rotate like they are, somebody's going to be left open. And this time, Sharif just out-muscles Shawn Marion, gets the rebound, powers it up, gets fouled.
This is really a good guy, this Sharif Abdul-Rahim. Everywhere he's been a very good teammate. He thought he was headed to the New Jersey Nets, but he failed their physical with some problems with the knee, and so Sacramento was glad to sign him to a 5-year deal. And a lot of people feel, if you look at the Kings, they may have the best starting 5 in the NBA. That's up for debate, but that's what they would tell you. 57-51. Off it comes now to Nash. Brings it into James Jones. Stojaković measuring him. Jones leaves it short. We've got a foul inside.
Kurt Thomas with the push in the back to Brad Miller. Way too obvious there. Wasn't going to get away with that with Crawford standing right there. And Brad Miller's going to go to the free throw line.
And I'm going to tell you, there's that stare I was talking about. See it, Dan?
Yeah, I don't want to look.
Oh, stare on you.
Scary.
It is.
I don't want to look.
I mean, Kurt Thomas can really lay one on you. Look at him. I love this guy's attitude.
I play poker with him. I can't even look at him. It scares me.
Is he a good poker player?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
they don't call me the master for nothing.
You're the
master.
Dan, you're the master.
Marley the master.
I knew you were good. I was asking about Kurt Thomas. That was a given.
They all pale in comparison.
I'm sure.
It's like stealing. I feel bad sometimes. I muck a hand every once in a while.
Miller gets both.
I'm watching way too much TV.
I know you are. You really are. Some of the things you say, I can't understand. I'm going to have to get back into the groove with you. I can tell that right now. It's taken me a while to figure you out again.
Got plenty of time, baby.
1:07 now to go in this first half. 57-53, the Suns. Here's Bonzi Wells. Yeah, now I'll pick it up, Brad Miller. Miller loves that high post position. He's a very good passer off of it. Wells can't get it to go. Nice box up, that time by Shawn Marion. Ahead it comes. Bell thought about it, looked to his feet to see if he was behind the line, deflected out. Here comes Wells the other way. Deflected. Great hustle by Jones. It'll be off of the Suns. Sacramento ball with 38 seconds.
Well, good idea by James Jones. He actually thought Shawn Marion on the pick and roll was going to roll to the basket. Shawn stepped back, therefore the turnover.
6 turnovers now against the Suns. 17 on the shot clock. Bonzi Wells, who played at Ball State, goes in, follows his own shot once, twice, and gets it. Guy's talented. There's no question about it.
Very aggressive. Got a nose for the basket. That time took to the basket. Nobody boxed him out again. Had 2 more shots at it.
So we have a 2-point game now. Out it comes to Diaw. Diaw looks up. About 5 seconds difference between the game and the shot clock. Boris Diaw has it batted away by Bonzi Wells. 7 on the shot clock. He'll go right back in. Shovels it outside, and Raja Bell is able to nail the 3, and he's proud to own the 3-point zone, and Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Suns Charities. That breaks the Kings' 6-0 run. Miller trying a 3 at his own, can't get it. And the Suns at the break, up by 5. And if you love high-scoring, up-tempo basketball, this is your cup of tea.
Well, I love it, and I love Boris Diaw. For a young guy, kept his composure. Got denied once and twice, and he took it to the basket, took it all the way to the middle. Found a wide-open Raja Bell to nail a 3 here. The Suns up 60, Kings 55. Come on back!
Suns up at the break by 5, 60-55 with Thunder Dan Marley. I'm Gary Bender, and the Suns getting great production from the bench, outscoring the Kings 17-6.
Barbosa, Diaw, 6 assists, did a great job. Just amazing what these guys are going to do. They got to do a better job containing the offensive rebound by the Kings. They did a good job there, and that's really the only reason they're in the game, is that too many offensive rebounds for Sacramento.
It's time to check the Jack in the Box inside the box score. We don't make it till you order it. Those offensive rebounds were big. I mean, it was 12-4 in favor of Sacramento, and you see the bench points we were talking about.
Yeah, Suns came off the bench. Eddie House did a good job, came and made a few shots. Brian Grant, Jim Jackson, Boris Diaw, 5 guys coming off the bench, all playing at the same time at one point for the Suns.
Second chance points. The Kings with 12 in that first half.
Unacceptable, Gary.
Unacceptable. Okay, Raja Bell brings it out down to Nash. From the corner, James Jones in. That's a nice way to start it. A 3, and James Jones proud to own the 3-point zone. Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Phoenix Suns Charities.
Well, we didn't talk about the assists. That's his 19th assist for the Suns. They average about 30 a game, which leads the league, so they continue to make the extra pass.
They are very unselfish. Had 26 assists last night in Utah. Sharif Abdul-Rahim got in too low, and you can't stop it when he's that deep.
Good ball move by Sacramento. They went weak side, back to the strong side. Sharif stepped in too late.
Bell now able to get the bounce. 65-57. These old 2 Pacific Division rivals going after each other. Sacramento feeling with Amari out of the lineup, they might be the favorites in the Pacific Division, but don't go too fast on that. This Suns team really doing some things well. There's Kurt Thomas had that ball deflected, and Stojaković ended up with a layup. 65-59. Stojaković with 9 points. 4 of the 5 starters now in double figures for the Kings. There's Nash with a left hand, and Bibby comes down with it. They'll come the other way. Suns shooting 57% for the field, 42% for the Kings thus far. Into Sharif again. He is really tough inside, isn't he, Dan? He just gets it done.
He's doing a good job of setting up without the ball, moving, putting his body in the way, and then the Kings are doing even a better job of giving the ball where he can score.
Abdul-Rahim now with 12 points in the ball game. Nash goes in, has it deflected, and then reaches in. That's a frustration foul. That's his 3rd foul. He was upset on that particular play.
Well, we've seen a little bit more of that this year. I think teams are starting to realize that Steve's going to hang on the ball until they commit, and they're trying to get in there and use their physical being and try to strip the ball. So Smush Parker for LA stripped Steve 3 or 4 times, so he's going to have to be more constant when he goes in the paint protecting the ball.
When you're the league MVP, people study you, don't they? They figure out a way that they can make life miserable for you. There's a traveling call on Stojaković. That'll go over to the Suns. Turnover. That is turnover number 5 against Sacramento. The Suns with 8 thus far. 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd. Suns trying to move their record to 3-1. Sacramento trying to win their first game of the year, and there's Kurt Thomas. Now that was a good-looking shot that time.
That was. He put a lot more air on the ball there. We were right behind, or right in front of us, and he got some good arc on there. And he's such a good shooter, and he's going to figure it out.
Kurt Thomas last year averaged almost 12 points a game. Outside Stojaković, a low 3. We mentioned he was struggling with his shooting. Now tonight he is 5 of 9. They have 4 starters now with 12 points each.
Still hasn't shot the ball well. He's got a lot of easy layups here tonight. off that last steal from Kurt Thomas, so hopefully that won't get him going.
Here is Bell from outside, and that was over the outstretched arm of Sharif Abdul-Rahim, and out it comes now to Bibby. Bibby thus far in the ball game has 2 assists, 10 points. Driving inside is Brad Miller. He goes loping inside, missed the left-hander. Miller upset, grabs Marion as they go the other way. So both Marion and Nash have committed frustration fouls here in the third quarter, not happy with the no call.
Brad thought he got fouled, was upset, and he said, you know what, I'm not going to chase Sean Marion halfway down the floor, and just grabs his jersey, and he knows well that he's not going to be able to stay up with Sean Marion, just upset at the call.
Second foul now on Brad Miller. No one's going to catch Marion anyway. Here is Nash, and now that could be the 4th foul, and it is. That might have been a little bit of a flop by Mike Bibby, but more importantly, Nash has his 4th foul of the game.
Well, it was definitely a flop, but he did it at the right time. Steve lowers his left shoulder a little bit, and Bibby realizing it's going to stand there, and as soon as he sees him lower that left shoulder, see the elbow go out a little bit, it's definitely a flop.
Yeah, that is a big-time flop. Off it comes now to Bibby. Bibby, the cagey player, comes back and then hits the 2 at the other end. We have a 1-point game. Nash will stay in. He had 2 fouls early in this game, and now has picked up 2 here in this third quarter. Thomas outside brings it off to Steve Nash. Nash gets a screen from Thomas, and Nash able to hit it. You can see a little frustration there. He was able to kind of drain that shot and help him a little bit with that frustration.
Well, as a point guard, you can't go underneath the screen on Steve Nash. If you do, he's going to stop and hit that jumper all night long.
Nash leads the Suns now with 12 points of the ball game. Here is Moxie Wells, and Wells connects. 69-68 ahead to Raja Bell. Bell going, floating off the glass, tough shot. Rebound by Stojaković. Mike Bibby back the other way. Bibby with a little nod to Stojaković says, I'm getting it to you, be ready to roll, and here he is. And we have now, I guess, a little bit, not near the flop that we had on the other end, but Raja Bell helping a little bit, helping the officials get that offensive foul.
Well, Raja's a tough guy in this post. You're not going to be able to back him down, and Page is trying to get him off and then uses that left arm to shove off. Raja hits the deck and gets the call.
Suns by 1. Nash going inside. Beautifully done. He had Miller lurking nearby, and he went right under him.
Well, Miller couldn't commit the whole way. He didn't want to leave Kurt Thomas wide open, so Nash gave him a little ball fake and laid it up with the right hand.
71-68 Phoenix. Abdul-Rahim kicks it outside now to Stojaković. Long 3. And man, this looks like the guy you fear. The guy a year ago averaged 20 points a game, had his worst shooting season since his rookie year. But he's starting now to zero in, and so is this guy. Kurt Thomas has hit a couple here in the third quarter.
He's figured it out. Nice arc on that shot also.
73-71. Fast-paced game. This is really a fun game to watch. Very entertaining. Here at the Purple Palace, Bibby with a 2. Everybody's hitting now.
Teams are on fire.
We're tied at 73. Suns have led by as many as 10, and there is Nash back the other way. I think it's interesting that D'Antoni just leaves Nash in there. He got those 2 fouls early and got 4 now, and he trusts that he can stay out of further foul difficulty. Look at the shooting in this quarter.
Yeah, if you like defense, just turn your set off. Just turn it off.
Stojaković with a 3, and they have the lead. Nash, by the way, has 16 points, 9 assists in this game. Marion with a 3. Whoa. Somebody opened a window somewhere there.
The barn door was open. Still looking for that first 3. Sean hasn't found that shooting touch.
Yeah, he was 0 for 6 at the start of the night. Here's Sharif inside. Double team. Good defense that time by the Suns. Back it comes to Nash. Steve Nash with Bibby on him. These 2 guys really going after each other. As Marion give the assist to Steve Nash. Marion floating to the hole. He has 12 points.
Well, they run, they play all the time. It's just a matter of eye contact. Sean looks like he's going to come over and set the pick and roll. Instead, he just slips to the basket. Steve Nash with a bullet pass.
Suns up by 1 now. 77-76 inside. 6 minutes to go in the third. Inside it goes. Stojaković. I'm telling you right now, these 2 teams are putting on an offensive show.
What I like about Stojaković, he's not only a good shooter, but he really moves well without the ball. And that time, just back cut, James Jones got the layup.
Stojaković in this quarter has 13 points already, and we still have over 5 minutes to go in it. Marion now will pick up this ball. Looks like Raja Bell and Bibby may have collided, a little bit shaken on the play. Nash goes inside. He is fouled. We have a timeout 5:20 left to go in the third. A shootout, and the Kings right now up by 1.
I'm tired.
Well, this young man has seen quite a shooting exhibition. Thus far, the Suns shooting 62% in the second half. The Kings 77%. Stojaković, we mentioned, has 13 points in the quarter. And Diaw is going to come into the lineup now. And it's time now for the Quest Spirit of Service stat of the game. And this is appropriate because Nash is going to the line. And he and Stojaković 1-2 in the NBA. They're not going.
Foreigner. Steve Kerr's a foreigner?
What? What are you talking about?
I was born in almost the Upper Peninsula. Does that make me a foreigner?
Yeah, you're a foreigner for other reasons. It was not a shooting foul as we anticipated, but we started to show you that Nash and Stojaković started tonight were number 1 and 2 in the league. There's the ball getting away, eventually picked up by Bonzi Wells. Miller dumps it off now. Stojaković. I would think maybe Peja has got it back.
I think it's official. He's out of the slump.
Yep. 80-77. Stojaković with 22 points in this game. From the corner, Jimmy Jackson. Rebound beautifully done by Diaw. Jimmy loads it up again. Not there this time. Jackson struggling with his shooting in the early going. 25%, but the Suns still get it back with great hustle.
Shawn Marion does what he does best. Gets in the passing lane, steals the ball, going to give a shot for Diaw to lay it in.
And Nash, if you work off the ball and get open, you'll get the ball. And Diaw's found that out in a hurry as a new member of the Phoenix Suns. 80-79 Sacramento. Stojaković from outside. Well, he does miss once in a while. Marion comes down to the rebound. That was his first shot that he's missed this quarter. Raja Bell from outside. Rebound is cleared now by Abdul Rahim. So his team's, for the moment, missing a couple of shots. It's almost surprising the way they've been playing. Miller from outside. He didn't miss that one.
Yeah, you can't do that. They double-teamed Bibby, and nobody from the weak side for the Suns came and rotated Miller. He's just too good of a shooter to leave him wide open.
He has 14 points. 3 of the starters had 14. Stojaković leads away with 22. The shot by Bell not finding the mark. Here comes Bibby back the other way. So just very quickly now, the Suns are not finding the range. They were just on fire a moment ago.
I thought Raja turned down a better shot. Was wide open from the 3. Instead, put the ball on the floor into the defender. Made a tougher shot.
Stojaković moving so well off the ball as he got the foul as Jackson tried to trail him from behind. Eddie House is going to come in. Leandro Barbosa will check in for the Suns. Get some firepower in here with House, who can come in and light it up.
Yeah, I like this move. These two guys provide a spark. Leandro with his quickness pushing the ball, and then Eddie House with his great shooting ability.
3:26 to go in the third. Stojaković brings it in out of Miller. Well, if anybody's worried about the Kings, are worried about them not scoring points, they won't worry anymore after tonight. They are on fire. They already have 82 points after averaging only 78 in the first 2. And we still have over 3 minutes to go in the quarter, the third. Here's Marion going inside. That'll be a blocking foul. Joe Crawford spots it, calls it on Brad Miller.
Well, Sean, realizing having the mismatch there against Brad Miller, just took a time, crossed him over, went to the basket, got fouled.
Miller with his 3rd foul, so he is the first King to get into foul trouble. We mentioned Nash has 4, but Nash now on the bench as Barbosa's take it over. Marion brings out a deflected. Stojaković heads up play. House trailing him, and it'll count in a foul as well. Boy, Mike D'Antoni not happy at all.
No, just carelessness by the Suns there, throwing the ball away. House trying to get back on defense, trying to do the right thing, but didn't do a good job of wrapping Stojaković up. See Sean just being lackadaisical with that pass, one-handed underhand. House trying to get down here. You got to wrap him up, not allow his hands to get up to complete the play.
So he was an in-betweener. He didn't stop the shot. The basket goes, the foul against House, and right now the lead by Sacramento. Suns trailing 84-79. It's time to Kia Watch and Win. Log on to Suns.com after tonight's game and fill out the online registration form, including the Suns' high score, and you go win a Sean Marion autographed basketball. We'll be giving away a unique Suns prize following every game on FSN Arizona this season, and each of our winners will also be entered into a drawing at the end of the season to win a new 2006 Kia Sportage, a versatile SUV with 6 airbags, traction control, and available V6 engine. Kia, the power to surprise. You know, you were asking about Steve Kerr, where he was born. He was born in Beirut, Lebanon.
Beirut, he was a heck of a baseball player.
I tell you what, that here is Kerr. Born Blair scores Nash from Canada.
That Beirut, he could hit.
Stojaković from Serbia. I'm going to leave it alone. Biggest lead of the game now for Sacramento. They're up by 6.
Best down baseball player ever lived.
Now it comes now to Eddie House, trying to generate some offense. He'll pull up. Got it. Boy, this guy is going to really help this team. 6-year man out of Arizona State, and one time scored 61 points for Arizona State. 85-81. Going down to the last 2.5 of this fast-paced, high-scoring third quarter. Here's Miller inside, not able to get it. Bonzi Wells doing some damage inside.
Well, again, double teaming and left Brad Miller wide open down the lane. Missed a shot. Nobody picked up Wells, and House comes down and lets it fire.
He tried to 3, doesn't get it.
But the Suns have to continue to do a better job on those offensive rebounds. It's going to hurt them.
13 offensive rebounds by Sacramento to back up what you're saying, Dan. Out it comes now to Stojaković with a 3. And Stojaković right now is back in the zone. And when he gets there, look out. He has 28 points. He was averaging 14 in the first 2 games.
That's a problem you're going to have if you double team somebody and you don't rotate properly. You cannot leave Peja Stojaković wide open.
6-3 as you just saw on the screen by Sacramento. That's going to be a carrying violation, a palming on Barbosa. That's one of the points of emphasis that they are going to really watch this season in the NBA. Turns it over at a very inopportune time. The Suns now turn it over 12 times and right now find themselves down by 9 points.
Well, they need to get a stop here. Sacramento's pretty much doing whatever they want. They're just being patient, coming to double team, and then just getting good shots like that.
Not only that, they're not missing anything right now. Bibby hits. I mean, this team is on fire. 92-81. They may get 100 points before we get to the end of this quarter. Here's Barbosa going in. That's a very poor shot. Off balance, out of control. Back it comes to Bonzi Wells. You can see the Kings 18 of 22 in this quarter. That'll come back to Sean Marion. The Suns need a basket. Approaching a minute to go. Barbosa hits the 3 and redeems himself. And Barbosa proud to own the 3-point zone. Fulton Holmes donates another $150 to Phoenix Suns charities. Boy, did the Suns need that one. 92-84. Into the corner. There he goes, Brad Miller. And this time they don't get the basket, but Bonzi Wells doing yeoman work inside. And we have the foul before the shot. It's going to go on Jim Jackson.
Well, it's no secret what Sacramento's doing. They're posting up Abdul Rahim, waiting for the double team, and then swinging it to the open man. And then Bonzi Wells just down there trying to get every offensive rebound.
Well, what you have now are the Kings back in the form that they've had for so many years. One of the highest scoring teams in the NBA. Last year averaged 103.7. Here comes Brian Grant in. John Marion will sit down. Marion with 12 points. 11 rebounds with a double-double. Stojaković will bring it in. 40 seconds left in the third. Miller and Stojaković with 16 on the shot clock. Stojaković trying to shake Brian Grant. Grant playing some good defense, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter right now.
Yeah, great job by Brian Grant staying down on Stojaković, but he's just in one of those zones where he'll probably make everything he looks at.
30 points now for Stojaković. He has 23 of them in this quarter. 15 seconds left to go in the third. 10-point lead, and now been cut to 8 as Barbosa wheels inside. Barbosa now has the 11 points in the game. He was averaging almost 10 a game. They're going to start this over, evidently.
They started the clock too early.
Yep, that's what they're going to do. They're going to reset. Let's see, is the clock right, Joe Crawford? We'll wait and see if they change it. 11 seconds showing. And here we go. That's 12 seconds. They put on a few tenths. So this will be the last shot of the quarter. Miller, picked up by Diaw. Bibby from outside. And we have come to the end of this quarter, and the Sacramento team scored 39 points. 39. They outscored the Suns 39-26, and Stojaković had 23 of them.
Brian Grant doing the best he can, but Stojaković just That foreigner's killing us, Gary Bender.
Well, the Suns have their work cut out for them as we go to the fourth quarter. They're down 94-86. Totally Football is your home for the latest information on both college and the NFL all season long. With interviews, analysis, and breakdowns of the key matchups. We've got everything you need to get ready for kickoff. Totally Football tomorrow at 6 p.m. only on FSN Arizona. Well, Dan, that was a very impressive quarter by Sacramento.
Well, everybody's wondering when Page was going to break out of it. Well, we can tell you it was during that third quarter. I mean, Page at 12 for 17, 5 for 7 from threes, has 30 points, and right now it's just unstoppable.
Suns didn't shoot all that poorly. They shot 52%, but the Kings were at 65. And as you mentioned, Page was in his zone. Here we go. Suns still looking for their first home win after losing in double overtime in the season opener against Dallas.
You got a family affair out there. Eddie House guarding Mark Bibby. Eddie House is married to Bibby's sister.
That's right. They are brother-in-laws.
I wonder who she's rooting for.
Maybe she roots one half for one and then one half for the other.
Better not.
If she's rooting for the Kings in the second half, she's doing a good job because they are playing remarkable ball. There's Thomas missing. Sacramento, you don't even expect him to miss a shot. Kevin Martin now is in the game for Sacramento. He's picking up Barbosa. Off to Boris Diaw. Diaw, who has 6 points in the game. Little spin move, and he got his own rebound. Good hustle. Baseline gets it out to Barbosa. Barbosa, tough shot. Doesn't go for him. Thomas brings it down. Biggest lead of the game for Sacramento has been 11. The Suns at one time led by 10. 94-86. Here's Martin going inside. Diaw went up, and Martin shows you something there. The first-round pick last year out of Western Carolina.
Yeah, you can't allow that. You got to make that kid hit a jump shot. You can't allow him to get all the way to the basket for an easy layup.
House outside. Martin is squeezing out on him. He realizes his range, and Joey Crawford says, "You have fouled it." So they'll take it sight out. Coming into the game now will be James Jones. Jim Jackson will leave. Jackson picking up 3 fouls in 13 minutes. And it'll be Jones bringing it in for the Suns. Boy, it's a tough team to play catch-up against, the way the Kings can score points. But the Suns got to find a way. They're down by 10. Out it comes out of Brian Grant. Nice stand-still shot.
Well, I tell you, Brian Grant's really shot the ball well here early in the year, and he's continuing to step back and hit that mid-range jump shot.
4 points for Grant. There's a steal attempt by Diaw. Tracked down by Thomas. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Look out.
Would you stop it?
This guy is unconscious. Stojaković with 33. It's 99-88. Stojaković is back, much to the disdain and dismay of the Suns. There's Jones, left it a little bit short. Miller brings it down. Bibby back the other way. Bibby has 16 points in the game. He gets a screen from Thomas. Miller from outside. Diaw keeps after it. Comes down with a rebound. Diaw, such a good ball handler. That's 6'8", good passer. Brings it off now to House. You can see they're tracking him at every moment. They don't want to get him started. There's Diaw inside. Got the roll. Nice job by Boris Diaw.
Nice job by Boris. And you did a better job by Eddie House. Made a nice bullet pass to Diaw with the left hand. Diaw showing a little bit of composure. Made his own shot.
Stojaković, you're going to have to get out on him. He is 5 of 6 behind the line here in this second half. There's Thomas inside, and Grant and Diaw come over there and double team him, and that'll send Thomas to the free throw line.
Tough cover there for Diaw. Thomas got one of the quicker first steps in the NBA. They're just squaring him up and went hard to the basket. Diaw got pretty good hand on the ball. Brian Grant comes down. See, Thomas just squaring up. He's got that quick first step and gets to the rack and is going to the line.
Well, here's good news. They're taking Stojaković out of the game, and they'll get him ready for the stretch run. Brad Miller also comes out of the lineup.
The only one who can stop Page is Rick Adelman right now.
Kenny Thomas at the free throw line, a 3-time first-team all-WAC pick for the Lobos of New Mexico. So he gets that free throw to go. 100-90.
Did you say he was whacked?
WAC.
Oh.
Western Athletic Conference.
That Kenny
you know
Thomas,
what? That's
whack.
where rumors get started. There's guys like you.
Gary Bender saying Kenny Thomas, he's whack.
Maybe he is. I don't know, but he's an all-WAC pick. And Thomas gets the second free throw. You know, Dan, I don't know if I can survive you. I just don't know if I can survive this. 101-90. Here's Diaw now trying to go inside. Nice spin move, and Thomas with a slap down, and he committed the foul.
Let me tell you what, Diaw, much like Amari Stoudemire when he came into this league, wasn't a very good shooter from 15 feet. Well, when Diaw develops that 15-foot jumper, he's going to be unguardable.
Well, I was asking you about that. Mechanically, his shot is good, right, Dan?
It's not bad. I mean, look at that free throw. It's a pretty good looking form, and he's just got to get some confidence and work on that shot, and they're not going to be able to back off it.
Well, it's all coming together for him, and they love him here in Phoenix. His second free throw is good. 101-91. 10-point game again. 9:17 to go. Suns are going to have to make their move here pretty soon. Trying to get it into Abdul-Rahim. He's against Grant. Grant playing that tough defense, stays with him, but he got it anyway. I tell you, Shareef Abdul-Rahim is a big pickup. I don't know why he flunked the physical of the New Jersey Nets, but Sacramento is really happy they've got him.
Well, you know, this is where he's made his money in the league, getting in the post and just uses his quickness. Nice spin and goes up, protects the ball, gets fouled by Brian Grant.
So Grant committing the foul. That's his second. Abdul-Rahim at the line again. He is 2 of 2. He's always been an excellent free throw shooter. 87% last season. 104-91. Barbosa, a little handoff now to House. House, he wants a shot. To Grant. Back to Eddie. Eddie working hard. Back to Grant. Good ball movement. Grant inside. Nicely done.
Very nice. Good patience by House, too. Came off that screen, delivered a nice pass to Brian Grant, who powered it to the basket.
I tell you, Brian Grant at 33 years of age, I love to watch him play. You talk about a great work ethic and toughness. Glad to have him in a Suns uniform. Here's Bibby from outside. Bibby not able to get it over the back, but somehow the rebound was cleared by Kenny Thomas. Bonzi Wells from the baseline. They're getting too many offensive boards again, but that'll be a foul on Thomas over the back. Timeout. 8:22 to go. Suns down 104-93. At half, they led by 5. By 3 at the first quarter. But then a 39 third-point quarter by Sacramento. All right, it's getting close to crunch time as it's 104-93 with 8:22 left to go in the ball game. Sacramento made that big surge in the third quarter. The Suns coming out trying to make up some ground, and that'll start it. Eddie House, he's capable of shooting you right back in.
Nice call by Coach D'Antoni gave it to Boris Diaw. Eddie House coming off the weak side double screen for the wide open jumper.
9 points in the ball game for House. Here's Abdul-Rahim, and a bullet pass. It's off the Suns. Sacramento ball with 12 seconds to shoot. Suns, of course, their next ball game is not going to get any easier as they are going to be at home against the Pistons on Thursday. Outside, Abdul-Rahim not able to get it. Diaw comes down with the rebound. Boris Diaw pushing the envelope now the other way. Barbosa looks in with 18 seconds on the shot clock. Barbosa floating to the hole. Beautifully done by Leandro.
Well, that's where he's at his best, using that quickness and able to explode to the basket.
104-97. Maybe the beginning of the comeback. 7:27 left to go. Jason Hart in the ball game gets it off to Stojaković. They're extending the defense on Stojaković. Bonzi Wells goes into the left hand, tries to follow. Abdul-Rahim follows. Another tip up. Finally, Diaw comes down with it. The Kings had 15 offensive rebounds before that flurry. Here is House again, and House now has made it a 5-point game, and Sacramento's concerned. We have a timeout.
Watch out, Eddie House brings this crowd to his feet. Living those ASU days where he scored 61, you cannot leave that guy open.
House can light you up.
Diaw with the bullet pass. House pulls up. Nothing but net for the ASU grad, and he's going to look around and say, that's what I'm talking about.
The place is rocking. The Suns now within 5. It's time to check the Suns' upcoming TV schedule. Room store, what's in store? We put it all together to save you more at the Room Store. Thursday, Detroit. Then Saturday against Golden State. Wednesday, Memphis. And then Utah on Friday, November 18th. Look forward to having you with us. And if you can't watch us, buy a ticket and come to the game.
Well, the bench doing it again for the Suns. Boris Diaw with a bullet past Eddie House. You know, Eddie House got 11 points. Barbosa 13. Diaw got 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 9 points.
Tell you what, this place is alive now. You can see now. The Suns getting great performance again for the bench. The depth of the Suns has been big. And Stojaković just threw one up. The clock, a little bit of a problem, and that was not a good effort. Here's Marion the other way, and he's fouled. Boy, this crowd really right now at a fever pitch, and the Suns trying to use that energy. Marion is fouled on the way to the basket.
Well, I like to see Diaw and Stojaković at the other end. That way he can use his size there and got his hands up, forced a bad shot, which allowed the Suns to get out on the break. Barbosa pushing it. Marion gets fouled going to the line.
So Marion going to the free throw line for the first time. Suns do not get to the line as much now with Amari out of there. They led the league in free throw attempts because of Amari. They would like to get Sean there more often. His first attempt, he got it. It's a 4-point game. Here comes Mike Bibby back in the lineup. Bibby in for the stretch run. 6:38 left to go. Marion tonight with 13 points. Suns have had very good balance. They've had 2 guys off the bench. Barbosa and House in double figures as well. So 1 of 2 free throws. Suns on a 9-1 run that got this crowd back in it. Bibby dumps it inside now to Bonzi Wells. Barbosa with a tough matchup. Out it comes down to Bibby. Bibby with a 2. And Bibby hits it. Remember, this guy was shooting 23% at the start of the night. He's shooting 50% tonight.
Well, they went right to Bonzi Wells. He's got Leandro Barbosa guarding him. There's no way they can stop him on the post, so they double team. Bibby left open for the jump shot.
Back to a 6-point lead now for Sacramento. House swings it around to Barbosa. Barbosa backing down. Barbosa, 3 on the shot clock. How about Leandro Barbosa?
I was going to say, a bad shot by Leandro, but it went in. I'd like to see him get the ball back to Eddie House, who had Brad Miller on him, but Barbosa, using his quickness, made the shot.
15 points. His previous high had been 12 for the season. Then it comes down to Wells. 106-102, and Bonzi Wells backing down. They're going to call a foul on Eddie House. Right now, the Suns really have a matchup problem with Bonzi Wells.
They really do. They're going to have to communicate and know exactly what they're going to do when they feed Wells down to the post with Barbosa on them, get the rotations right, because you can't leave any of these Sacramento shooters open.
So House is going to leave, and everybody applauding as Steve Nash comes back in. Nash comes in playing with 4 fouls. He has a double-double, 16 points, 11 assists. Wells goes baseline, cut off nicely by Brian Grant. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Here's that matchup again. Miller moving in, blocked from behind by Diaw. Saved by Bibby, 2 seconds, 1, and the Suns get a stop. They get a stop defensively.
Great athletic move by Boris Diaw. He went down to double team on Wells, got back, got in the air in a nice pump fake, but was able to get back and block the shot from behind.
So the Suns now, as you look at this play by Diaw, with a chance to climb closer. 5:18 left to go. Brian Grant now looking inside, hands off to Nash. Nash wheels in, gives it off to Marion. Tough break on the shot, and we have a foul inside as Marion not able to get that after a beautiful feed inside. A foul.
Foul number 13, Steve Nash.
It's going to be on Nash. That's his 5th. That's what I thought. I was waiting to see. And that's 5 fouls on Steve Nash. And the Suns also have committed their 15th foul.
Well, what do you think the people in Atlanta are doing if they're watching this game, saying, who is this Boris Diaw guy?
Yeah, we never saw him play, did we? Miller at the line, and Miller is He's now 6 of 7 from the stripe. 107-102. Missed opportunity a minute ago for the Suns. All these trips now are important. Miller not able to get it. Marion skies for the rebound. Nash now setting it up offensively. Grant, Boris Diaw, Sean Marion, Leandro Barbosa playing at crunch time right now. Interesting lineup for Mike D'Antoni. Nash outside. They have a switch now, a mismatch. Abdul Rahim, though, and that's going to be a foul on Sharif, and Nash is saying, finally, I got a call.
Well, Nash is being patient, split the double team. I think they called him maybe on Bibby, reached in and hit his hand as he tried to cross over, tried to take Sharif Abdul Rahim, and there, Bibby reaches in, gets him on the wrist.
That's who it is. It's Bibby. Bibby with his third foul.
Better late than never. The referee came around after a while.
I got you, man. So this is the first free throw of the night for Steve Nash. I don't think he was very confident that was going in, but it did. This guy shooting 89% from the free throw line last year.
What makes him a perfect 20-20 for the year.
And now 21-21. I wasn't going to say it. I didn't want to jinx. 3-point game. 107-104. This place is rocking tonight. Nash playing with those 5 fouls now. Trying to track Bibby. Bibby'd love to get him out of the game, and there's Brian Grant committing the foul. You know, you see a lot of similarities in Bibby and Nash, the way they'll dribble the ball around, wait for somebody to clear, always orchestrating something.
Well, they're both very good shooters, good scorers, so you can't ignore that ability, and then once you focus on them, they both can deliver the ball to their teammates.
And Bibby misses his first free throw attempt. They're now 16 of 20 from the line. Suns 10 of 14. Here comes Kurt Thomas back in for the Suns. And Grant will sit down. I thought Brian Grant did a really solid job.
He's had a fantastic year so far early for the Suns. He comes in, he does all the hard work as far as rebound defensively, and is able to hit the shot. So another good outing by Brian Grant.
So Bibby gets 1 of 2. It's a 4-point game. Nash to the trailing Kurt Thomas. Boris Diaw kicks it outside of Marion. You can see the shooting in this quarters. Suns 7 of 11. Playing catch-up. Kings cooling off a little bit. 4-14. Diaw goes in. Changes his direction. Beautifully done. I tell you, that was a big league move.
I mean, we're talking about him every play. They're going to him. He's making the plays down the stretch.
He has 11 points in the game. 108-106. Suns would love to get a stop here. In it comes now to Sharif Abdul Rahim, and helping out that time was Diaw, and he committed the foul.
Oh, that's we were talking about that matchup problem with Wells and Leandro. They're going to have to come down and double team him, and that time Sharif just carts right down the lane. You see Diaw changing in mid-direction, puts it up with the right hand, has become quite a score.
It's interesting to me, Dan, that Barbosa's playing right now. Raja Bell is not in there. It shows some confidence that D'Antoni has on Leandro. Here with 3:49 left to go.
Well, rewarding LB for his good play the last couple of games and getting some crucial minutes here down the stretch.
109-106. Second free throw by Sharif. Sharif, 16 points. He has not missed a free throw. He's 5 of 5.
I tend to agree. I think it's time to bring Raja Bell back in the game just for the fact that they can't keep continually posted up Wells.
That's my point. I mean, that is a real mismatch physically. Off it comes now to Nash. Nash using a Diaw screen, gets it back to Boris. Boris kicks it out. Barbosa wheels in. Little underhand shot. Well, maybe that's the reason. He scored a couple of beautiful baskets.
Good discipline there. Turned down the 3, took it hard to the paint, laid it in.
Barbosa was 17 points. This is the new Barbosa. LB is a different player than last year. His confidence is way up the scale. Here's Bonzi Wells again. Barry Marion got a piece of it. There's Diaw now. Suns with a chance to tie, and they do. And count the basket and a foul. Marion with a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, Sean switches out on Bonzi Wells, gets a piece of it. Diaw leads the break, waits for the perfect moment, delivers the pass where Sean could just catch it and lay it in here. Sean making Bonzi Wells take a tough shot, and then Diaw waits for Sean to get all the way down the floor. Good pass. All you have to do is catch it and lay it in.
At the line is Marion. That's for the lead. 111-110. 3:02 left to go. That ball's kicked. And so they'll set 14 seconds on the shot clock as soon as we come back, because we have a break in the action. The Suns have fought uphill this entire second half, and they finally have gotten the lead, 111 to 110.
Sean with a nice block. He's going to run down the floor. Diaw finds him. The Matrix reloaded.
Last 9 minutes, the Suns have outscored the Kings 20-7. Tonight's High Flyers feature presented by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Diaw with the fine steal, and then he's going to lead the break, and he's just going to go whoop. Sean Merritt throws it down, and then Bibby with the steal. He's going to give it back to Peja. This is a little turbulent. Nothing big there, but Diaw showing he's an athletic freak with the block. So Diaw is close to a triple-double. This guy, yeah, get busy, kids.
Here we go, 2:52. Both teams over the team foul limit as we come back. Abdul-Rahim gets it out to Stojaković, who comes back in. Maybe he's cooled off a little bit after coming out of the game.
Thank goodness.
Marion with a rebound. Boy, Boris Diaw is having another terrific game tonight. He is one rebound away from a triple-double. Out it comes now to Diaw. They swing it around into the corner to Barbosa. Barbosa, little herky-jerky move, creating out to Nash. Nash inside, off to Diaw. Diaw moves in a little closer. Shot clock expires, and that was a good defensive effort that time by Sacramento.
Yeah, one too many passes there. I think Steve Nash should have took that shot. You don't want Boris Diaw shooting with the shot clock running down. Leandro did a good job of penetrating, found Nash. Nash has got to take over and make that shot.
They're going to call a foul, actually, at the end of the play on Kurt Thomas. And as we mentioned, both teams are over the team foul limit. And so Sacramento will send Brad Miller to the free throw line. That was at the very end as that shot clock was expiring. The shot by Miller. Let's take a look at who's getting the job done. Brought to you by Jobbing.com. Local jobs, fresh jobs, real jobs. Find them on Jobbing.com. And there's a guy that's getting it done.
You're going to make me want to get a job after that. Diaw, one rebound away from a triple-double.
And so Miller hits a free throw and gives him a 1-point lead. 112 to 111. Nash trying to shake Bibby. Brings it out to Diaw into the corner to Sean Marion. Dumps it into Boris. Boris to Stojaković. Tried to hand it off inside of Marion. They turn it over. Big turnover. Big turnover.
Diaw actually with a pretty nice pass there. Sean just couldn't handle it as he cut through the lane.
13 turnovers in the game for the Suns. 1:50 left. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bibby not able to get it. Marion had it batted away. And that's the offensive rebounds that's hurt the Suns all night long. Out it comes to Bibby. 18 offensive rebounds by the Kings. They'll reload here with 14 on the shot clock. Bibby swiped by Barbosa. It's a foot race. Bibby coming from behind, fouled him. The basket will count.
Well, Diaw holding his ground. Bibby just loses it. Nobody's going to catch Barbosa in the open court. Comes down, gets slapped on the wrist by Bibby. With that strength, is he will finish. Big conversion by Barbosa.
This is a coming out game tonight for Barbosa. At crunch minutes. And he completes the three-point play. He has 20 points. The Suns are up by 2. Timeout. Barbosa with his biggest moment of his young NBA career. He has been sensational. And the Suns with a 2-point lead with 1:23 left to go. Wow.
Barbosa going to finish it. Attaboy, Leandro! They got a
Well, Leandro Barbosa with a big three-point play. He's taken a huge step forward in his career. This place is absolutely shaking. 114 to 112. A minute 23 left to go. This has been fun, hasn't it, Dan?
Oh, it's been great, and they talked about earlier this year, Leandro had to earn the trust of the coaching staff. Well, a minute 23, still in there playing well. I guess he's earned his playing time, especially down the stretch. Leandro with a nice steal, and then doing what he does best, getting out the open court, finishing strong.
48 points from the bench, Dan. 28 in the quarter.
Well, last year you wouldn't have got that. This year, we have a high-powered bench for the Suns.
Minute 20 left to go. Suns protecting a 2-point lead. Backing in is Sharif. That'll be Kurt Thomas on the foul. Kurt Thomas has not been happy in this game tonight. He has committed his 4th foul. He has 11 points, a couple of rebounds, and that'll send Sharif Abdul-Rahim to the line. He has not missed. He is 5 of 5 tonight. He's missed his first. That is a big miss. Huge miss.
Monumental.
I jinxed him, Dan. He missed them both. Marion with a rebound. So after hitting 5 in a row, Sharif misses 2 in a row. 114 to 112. Barbosa to Nash. Kurt Thomas outside. Almost traveled with it. Gets it off to Barbosa. We have 1 minute left to go. Diaw backing in on Stojaković. Diaw muscles in. Barbosa, 3 on the shot clock. The 3, boy, would that have been a big shot. Instead, Sacramento with the ball down by 2. Bibby, no look pass. Stojaković overshot it. Got Sharif Abdul-Rahim with a follow tip. We're tied at 114. Ahead it comes to Marion. Marion quickly down the end. A blocking foul. No! They're going to call an offensive foul.
Well, good ball movement down there on the Sacramento end, and the thing that's killed the Suns all night long is second opportunities, and Sean Marion getting out in the break. Brad Miller gets down there, establishes his feet. Good call by the referee.
Joe Crawford waited a while. It looked like at first he was thinking about a block, then signaled the offensive foul on Marion. Timeout, 35 seconds left. We're tied at 114. Hang on. With Dan Marley, I'm Gary Bender. What a game. 114 left. Thus far in this game, Sacramento's used every timeout except 120. The Suns have 2 fulls and a 20 left. As going to the free throw line will be Brad Miller. Check that. That was an offensive foul, non-shooting foul. So they'll take it side out. Stojaković will bring it in. Joey Crawford checking on the timeout situation again. All Sacramento has is a 20 seconds. In it comes now. Abdul-Rahim backing in on Kurt Thomas, muscles his way, and got his way with it, and they have the lead.
Suns decided to stay home there. Kurt Thomas did a good job on Rahim. He just made a nice shot. Suns have to come down, run a nice play here, get a good look at the shot.
21 points now for Sharif. Here's Nash down the middle. Now kicks it out. Barbosa, the 3-ball. Woo! Yes! And Barbosa proud to own the 3-point zone. Fulton Home donates another $150 to Suns Charities. And Barbosa has been golden. The chest bump. The Suns by 1 with 21 and a half seconds.
Well, how about the confidence of Steve Nash and his young running mate as he got all the way to the basket, decided to give up on the 2, throw it out to the wide open LB, who calmly knocks down the 3. You see here, they go right into Rahim, takes his time, backs down Kurt Thomas, nice little jump hook. And then we answer with the drive to the basket. Steve Nash pops it out. Barbosa sets his feet, knocks it down, and the bench, who has had a big role, loves it.
And one of the reasons they've had a big role because Barbosa has just been superb. 23 points in the game, 9 of 14, 2 of 4 from three-point land. A big 3. Now the Suns have to survive the last 21.5 seconds. There's the numbers on him. Look at this. 12 in the fourth quarter. Suns in the fourth quarter hit 12 of 18 shots.
Well, I'd be surprised if they don't go right back down to Raheem, who's got Sean Marion on him, trying to maybe get a double team, find one of their shooters.
Sharif, Abdul-Rahim, bodies going everywhere in Bibi, and driving the basket. Abdul-Rahim gets his own rebound, can't get it, there's a foul. Abdul-Rahim so quickly following the miss. Wow. I knew that Sean Marion was a quick jumper, but I don't know that I understood that Sharif could do that.
Well, went hard to the basket. Kurt Thomas got a nice block. See Kurt Thomas come over. Beautiful block there, but again, Raheem goes up and gets it. Gets a late call from Ted Bernhardt. Thought he got fouled. I don't know.
And so Eddie House will come into the ball game, and Thomas just fouled out of the game. That was Kurt Thomas' 6th foul. And so now the guy who missed his last 2 free throws will walk to the line with 13 seconds left. Jason Hart now coming into the ball game for Sacramento. They're going to get Brad Miller out of there. They're going to go small as Abdul-Rahim at the line. He's tied it up at 117. There's Thomas, who fouled out of the ball game. One of those nights for Kurt, seemed like every time he turned around, he was getting a call that upset his rhythm.
Suns got to make sure here they box out in case Raheem misses. It'll be interesting to see if they take a timeout or just push it.
And he got them both. 1-point game. Here they go. They're going to go for it. Nash from outside to Barbosa. Barbosa inside to Diaw. Oh, blocked. It'll be Suns ball, I believe. Yes, 7/10 of a second. Timeout, Phoenix.
Well, Barbosa made a nice move. Got it to Diaw. Looked like he was going to be able to go up and under and lay it in. I think he just lost control of the ball.
Well, we'll see, as it looked like he might get the reverse. Let's look at it again, Dan, see if you're right.
Barbosa getting into the middle is going to draw Boris's man. He's going to go up. Looks like right here he's going to have an easy layup. Goes up. Looks like he just lost control of the ball. Wasn't able to get it. Luckily, the Kings knock it out. They're going to have 0.7 seconds to get a good shot.
What can you do with 7/10 of a second?
You can catch it and shoot it. So there's going to be able to run a play here, and somebody's going to be able to catch the ball and get a good shot, hopefully.
I want to thank David Hughes, our producer, Dan Siegman, our director. Nice job, guys. What a game as we began it all there on FSN Arizona. The Suns still looking for that first home win. With 7/10 of a second, they've got a chance to pull it out. So Mike D'Antoni drawing the play. And the Suns, who had to really fight back upstream all night long. Coming from behind, eventually taking the lead, now losing it by 1. So what do you expect here, Dan?
Well, they're going to try to run some kind of a pick and maybe look for the switch. And if they do switch, fire it into a big man around the basket, try to get it up off the glass. If not, watch Steve Nash coming off the pick, taking the jumper.
Jim Jackson, House is in the game, Nash, Brian Grant, and Sean Marion. This is for the game right here. They brought in Brian Skinner to guard the inbound. He hasn't been in all night long. Jackson gonna have to call a timeout. He couldn't get it in. So the Suns will call the timeout.
Well, they tried to run a pick for picker there. Steve Nash set the back screen, then was going to come off another screen, and Sacramento absolutely just wrapped up Steve Nash and would not let him move. And Steve Nash went over to the referee and said, "That guy can't grab me. He's got to let me move."
So they'll go back to the drawing board. We have a timeout. We're going to step aside. 1:18, 1:17. Sacramento will be back to finish it up. We come back now. This is for the ball game. 7/10 of a second. Jim Jackson gets it in. Brian Grant, no. And so Sacramento has escaped with a 118 to 117 victory.
Well, I really like that play. The two guards just pinned down on Brian Grant's man, who just stepped out and got a pretty good look at it. Just wasn't able to knock it down. Disappointing loss for the Suns here, but there's a couple things they've got to bring out of this. First, Boris Diaw had a fantastic game. Leandro Barbosa, both young guys who played down the stretch and played awfully well.
Yeah, Diaw missed a triple-double by a rebound. Barbosa had 23 points. And let's go back to the previous inbound. You pointed out that Nash was being held.
Yeah, Nash was going to set a back screen on Sean Marion, and then supposed to run off the Brian Grant screen, and Ahul Rahim just grabbed him and did not allow Nash to come across. And you got to expect that at this point in the game. The referee they're not going to get caught calling that on Abdul Rahim. They're just going to play physical there. But like I said, the Suns played awfully well. You got to come away with something positive here, and it's Diaw and Leandro Barbosa. Both played excellent games.
So the Kings win their first game. They're 1-2. The Suns even out at 2-2. Here's a shot by Brian Grant.
Yeah, good play. Both Nash and House screened down on Grant's man. He just steps back, got a pretty good look at it, just couldn't knock it down.
Disappointing loss, but as Dan pointed out astutely, it was very promising for the long haul, the big picture, as there were some very good things that happened. Sacramento in a shootout here tonight, winning it 118-117. Thanks to Tom Delnos, our statistician, and Sheila Simpson, our stage manager. Our next Suns game on FSN Arizona, Wednesday, November 16th. Suns will play host to the Memphis Grizzlies. Suns countdown starts at 6:30. For a complete look at what's happening in the Arizona sports scene, remember to check out the Arizona Sports Report. It heads your way at 9:30 tonight, and that's coming up. I'll have a complete wrap-up from this game against the Kings. So for Thunder Dan, Holland, Dan Marley, I'm Gary Bender. We'll see you next time on FSN Arizona.